In this video, we're going to go into more depth on how the arpeggiator and sequencer works on the Uno Synth Pro desktop. There's a lot more depth that I'm going to be covering in later videos. So if we press ARP here, we see all 16 steps are lit. So if I play some notes here, well, actually let's press hold here. So now it's just going to be playing that. I can turn down the cutoff a little. Alright, so this just plays through and goes through every note, and I can press a step and disable it, so it'll skip there. So I can make it skip, or every other note. Play some other notes. So let's turn them all back on, but you can explore a lot just using that. So this entire set of buttons will change if I press Alt. So we're in the arpeggiator mode, and we're in the Alt menu. So all these labels you kind of have to forget. When we're in the Alt menu and I press plus or minus, that changes the arpeggiator range. So let's see what 2 is. So it goes up 2 octaves. Let's bring it up 1 more. Goes even higher. And then let's bring it up 1 more. So 4 octaves can go up. Let's turn off Alt, go down an octave. Let's just see what it sounds like in lower notes. Okay. So also in the Alt menu, if I look at filter envelope right here, it has gate. So it says gate 5. So let's play some notes. Let's change the gate. You can hear it's a lot shorter. Gate 1. Let's bring it up. Longer and longer. There's the longest. Shorter. And let's just turn it off. Okay, so when it's off, it's very short. So let's bring that gate up. I want it right about there. That's pretty good. Oh, even more. I like gate 10. Okay, so I'm going to press minus. Let's bring that to ARP range 2. So now if I press LFO from the Alt menu, we can see swing. Let's bring it up. The higher we go, you can hear it's more staggered. And that's maximum swing. Bringing it back down. Let's actually combine something like this and turn off some of the steps. See what that does. So we can do a lot right there. That's pretty nice. Let's bring it back down. So we're in the Alt menu. Let's just bring that back down to 50. In arpeggiator mode, Alt menu, press effects, and we're going to see direction. So let's check out what the different directions are. So we have up, so you can hear it go up all the notes. So direction, it's just going cycling up the notes. Let's change it. Now it's going down the notes. Next is up, down, and this just goes up and down through the notes. Then there's up, down, plus. You can hear it repeats the highest and lowest notes. Next, we have DU, which is down, up. Now that's the opposite. So it goes down, then up. And then the plus version repeats the highest and lowest notes. The next is random. So it just randomly plays from any of those, including the ARP range. So if I go 3, it picks from any of those notes every step. And then we have play. Now what this does is it repeats through the note order that you add. And then there's X2 up. So it plays 2 notes and then down. And that's all the modes. So let's just leave it at play for now. So that's all that we have in the Alt menu of the Arpeggiator. So now we're going to look at the sequencer. So press sequencer here. Now if we want to enter in notes playing real time, so if I press record and play, it's going to record notes real time. So let's do that. So if I play notes over it, it overwrites. So I want to clear this sequence. So I can press Alt and then oscillator button, and it'll say clear, press to clear. So I can press any of these steps and it'll remove them. I can also clear the entire sequence by pressing SEQ. So now we have a blank sequence again. So if I want a step sequence, I just enable the record button here. So I just turn on the record button, make sure it's not playing. Now I can just press any step and put in a note. Let's press play. It's actually going out of the Alt menu and going to the amp envelope. What I want to do is turn up the decay. So let's turn that up. And the release. Turn down the resonance a little. Let's say I want to change a note. I just press record and then put in a new note. So let's listen to it. Let's go higher notes. Enter in a note here. If I press record, now I can still step sequence, so I can add notes in wherever I want. So also in step mode, we can modify the parameters per step if we want. So for example, let's go into oscillator, making sure Alt is off. Go into oscillator here. Let's choose this step. Let's turn the waveform to a different, let's make it square. So let's just listen to it. So we heard that change right there. Let's change this one. So that's kind of cool. Can also do a little bit of micro tune change, so change the tuning a little bit. On this step, on this one, make it a little higher, just a little. Also, we can go mix, so I want this to have a mix to add oscillator 2 in and turn off oscillator 1. Now let's go into oscillator 2. So if I press this, we're in the tuning. And let's turn up oscillators 2's tune. Let's make it up an octave. Back to mix. Let's just look at this. We're going to turn octave 2 on here. Turn it on here. And here. There it is. Now you can really hear it. So if I hold a step and change the filter right here and the resonance, that will also change. And let's just see what it sounds like. Turn it down. So that's the default right here, is because that's off. this. Change the notes. So yeah, that's... And also maybe add some reverb. So let's add some reverb here. Whoa, that's a lot of reverb. Let's add some delay here. And here. And then a little reverb here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So if I press both, it's flashing. That means I can also change. So let's change the filter. So that just overwrote the steps. Let's redo it. So changing some of these. As you can hear, it changed. So Alt plus, we can change the step length. So right now it's at 16. Let's bring it back. So that's at length 6, and so on. We can also go further this way. We can actually go to 64. So let's go all the way to 64. So how can I see those steps? Shows what page we're on here. So we see, I press page, it'll cycle to the next page, and I can just actually add more notes. Go to the next page, enter more notes. All right, so let's actually change that back. We're gonna bring this down. We're gonna make that 16 length. So we're back at 16. In the sequencer Alt menu, you press minus, and we're now in sequence transpose. So you can turn the knob or just press a key. You can go a maximum of 1 octave in the negative to 1 octave in the positive. So let's listen to it. Let's go down to a G, F, C. So if I press it, it'll just change it in a positive. And again, I can just use the knob. Let's go into effects. Let's turn up our reverb. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what else there is. So next is oscillator here, and that's clear. We already went through that. You can clear any step. So I'm clearing a couple steps, or I can press sequence and it will clear the entire sequence. So the next one in the Alt menu is mix. Now that says step copy, so I can take a step and copy it into the memory. Let's just copy 8 here. So I'm going to hold this down, press 8, step copied. And press the filter now, and it says step paste. So I'm going to paste it here, here. We can paste over this one and this one. So let's listen to it. Let's paste it other places. So you can hear that. Let's actually copy this one, 7, and paste that here. I can also press any step and then we can change the parameters right here. It says note D4. So I can just play a new note and it'll say what it is. So in the Alt menu and LFO, we can change the swing. Bring it back down. Alt menu, if I press filter envelope, we have gate. So it's the same as before. Make it longer or shorter. So let's exit this, go into amp envelope. Let's turn down the release a little. Now we'll be able to hear it a little better. So Alt menu, gate. We also have accent. And what we can do with accent is just draw them in here and turn it up. So as you can hear, it gives it a more of an accent. Next we have tie. So I can tie notes. So it's a secondary menu. I can enter into it, go back out. So tie on. So now, so you can hear the notes are together or tied. The keys are held down. Off, you hear that. And on, there we go. Off. And finally, we press, in the Alt menu, we press Effects, and now we're looking at the direction. So let's see what directions it has. Forward, backward, back and forth. So we can see it going back and forth here. Let's change the length. So there's just forward, backward, and back and forth. Or ping pong. Backward, forward. So it's just looking at the arpeggiator and the sequencer. I hope to get into more in the next video. Hopefully into the matrix. Stay tuned.